Dear soul, an urgent message is coming right now. My name is Infinity, and welcome to Infinity Moon Tarot Guidance. Let's start with our message. Something has shattered in the spiritual realm, and your person is reeling from it. For so long, they operated under a dangerous assumption that you would always be there, that no matter how many times they disappeared, no matter how cold they became, no matter how much they took your love for granted, you would chase them. You would fix it. You would hold the door open while they decided whether or not to walk through. But you stopped. And that single act, your divine decision to release them, has sent shockwaves through their entire existence. They believed you would never actually let them go. In the past, whenever they pulled away, you reached out. You tried to understand. You held space for healing. You convinced yourself that because this connection felt so deep, so karmic, so twin flame-like, it was your spiritual duty to fight for it, to be the bridge, to be the constant. But Spirit is showing me something profound. Your withdrawal was not abandonment. It was ascension. You didn't stop loving them. You stopped abandoning yourself. And that shift, that energetic recalibration, has completely destabilized their world. They can feel it even from a distance. The energetic cord that once pulled them back to you with your longing has transformed into something else entirely. Your peace, your wholeness, your radiant, untouchable light, and it's pulling them in more powerfully than any amount of chasing ever could. Your person is going through a spiritual demolition right now. Everything in their physical world is changing. Relationships, career, living situation, priorities. But more importantly, everything in their inner world is crumbling. The walls they built, the ego armor they wore, the emotional unavailability they weaponized. It's all falling apart. And in the rubble of their own making, they keep finding you, your face, your energy, your memory. No matter what they try to focus on, no matter who they try to distract themselves with, you surface, again and again, like a song they can't get out of their head, like a truth they can no longer deny. The separation you enforced wasn't punishment. It was medicine. And they're finally starting to feel its healing effects. They're looking at themselves in the mirror for the first time in years, truly seeing who they became in this connection. The arrogance. The assumption that love could wait. The belief that you would always be the one to bend. They took you for granted. And Spirit wants you to know, they see it now. They're drowning in regret. Not the shallow kind that fades with time, but the soul-deep kind that changes people. They're replaying every moment they chose ego over intimacy. Every time they ghosted instead of communicated. Every time they tested your love instead of honoring it. And what haunts them most? The realization that what you offered them, that pure, unconditional, spiritually aligned love, isn't something they can find anywhere else. They've looked, they've tried, and every connection since you has felt hollow, empty, wrong, because it wasn't you. Here's what's making them lose sleep, dear soul. You're not the same person anymore. They can feel it energetically. You're not waiting by the phone. You're not checking their social media. You're not wondering what if, or maybe someday. You've moved into a frequency they can't manipulate. Acceptance, peace, and self-love. You stopped carrying their emotional weight. You released the outcome. You surrendered to divine timing. And in doing so, you became magnetic in a way that terrifies and captivates them simultaneously. Your growth hasn't gone unnoticed. In fact, it's the very thing that's bringing them to their knees. They see someone who chose themselves, who transformed pain into power, who walked away from a connection that wasn't honoring them, even though it hurt like hell to do it. They see strength, and it humbles them. For the first time, they're not looking at you as the one who loved too much. They're looking at you as the one who loved themselves enough. Enough to set boundaries. Enough to require respect. Enough to say no more and mean it. And that version of you, the healed, whole, sovereign you, that's the version they're terrified of losing forever. Spirit is showing me something beautiful and bittersweet. Your person is being pulled back to you, not by your need for them, but by your lack of need for them. The universe works in mysterious ways, doesn't it? They want to reach out. They need to reach out. But they're paralyzed by fear. Fear that you've moved on. Fear that they burned the bridge beyond repair. Fear that you'll reject them the way they once rejected you. But beneath that fear is something stronger. Love. Real, raw, earth-shattering love that they can no longer deny or run from. They want to see you, to sit across from you, to look into your eyes and say all the things they couldn't say before. Words aren't enough anymore. They want to be in your presence, to feel your energy, to prove to you that they're not the same person who walked away. Deep down, they know this connection is eternal. It's not something that fades with time or distance. It's woven into their soul, and the longer they try to ignore it, the louder it becomes. They're realizing that running from you was never about you. It was about running from themselves, from their own fear of intimacy, their own unworthiness, their own inability to hold space for real love. But you held that space anyway, even in their absence, even through the silence, even when it hurt. And that's what's breaking them open now. If you feel led to support this mission of spreading prophetic and anointed words from heaven, consider contributing through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or more, may God bless every giver 100-fold and return to you the desires of your heart in divine timing. Your offering helps us continue to share God's love with those who need it most. Together, we are building a community rooted in faith, anchored in love, and aligned with purpose. Spirit is allowing me to channel their energy directly now. This is what your person's soul wants you to know. I can't live without you anymore. That's the truth I've been running from. Every day without you feels like slow torture. I wake up with your name on my lips. I fall asleep thinking about all the ways I failed you. You're in every song, every sunset, every quiet moment when I'm forced to face myself. I know words mean nothing without action. I know I've said things before that I didn't follow through on. But something is different now. I'm different now. This separation broke me open in ways I didn't know were possible. I'm not looking at anyone else. I don't want anyone else. You're not just my choice. You're my only choice. My heart doesn't even have room for anyone else anymore. It's full of you. Completely, devastatingly full of you. I'm taking responsibility. I'm seeing where I let my ego destroy something sacred. I'm learning that love isn't just a feeling. It's a daily commitment, a choice, an action. I wish I could go back and do it all differently. Hold you tighter, listen more carefully, show you every single day how much you mean to me. But I can't change the past. All I can do is promise you that if you give me another chance, I will spend every day proving to you that I've learned, that I've grown, that I'm finally ready to love you the way you've always deserved. The fire between us hasn't died. It's burning fiercer than ever, and I know you feel it too. Here's what Spirit wants you to understand, dear soul. This isn't about waiting for them. This is about trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Your person is going through their own dark night of the soul. They're facing their shadows. They're being humbled by the universe. They're learning lessons that can only be learned through loss. And you're being elevated, refined, prepared. Because when this reunion happens, and Spirit is confirming that it is coming, it won't be the old dynamic. It won't be you chasing and them running. It won't be you overgiving and them taking. It will be two whole people, two healed souls, meeting in the middle with open hearts and clear intentions. They're preparing to step forward, not as the person who left you, but as someone transformed by your absence, someone who finally understands what they had, someone who's ready to honor it. The silence is breaking, the energetic shift is happening, and soon, very soon, they will take that leap of faith, not out of fear of losing you, but out of genuine readiness to love you properly. Let me be crystal clear about something, beautiful soul. You did the right thing by letting go. Your decision to stop chasing wasn't cold-hearted. It wasn't cruel. It wasn't giving up on love. It was the most loving thing you could have done, for yourself and for them. You taught them that love without respect is not love at all. You showed them that connection without reciprocity is just one-sided attachment. You demonstrated that you value yourself too much to accept breadcrumbs. And in doing so, you activated their awakening. Sometimes the greatest act of love is releasing someone so they can find their way back to themselves. And then, if it's meant to be, they find their way back to you, not out of convenience or comfort, but out of conscious choice and genuine readiness. Trust that your surrender created space for divine intervention. Trust that your peace is more powerful than any plea ever was. Trust that the version of this connection that's coming will be worth every tear you cried to get here. You are not waiting. You are becoming. And whoever returns to your life must be worthy of the masterpiece you're creating. Spirit is giving me a final message for you. This person will reach out. The timing is divinely orchestrated. They're working up the courage, clearing their karma, aligning their actions with their words. And when they do, you'll know in your gut whether this is a genuine return or just another test of your boundaries. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust that you've done the inner work necessary to discern between real change and empty promises. The universe is on your side. Your angels are protecting you. And this connection, if it's truly meant to be, will unfold in divine timing with divine grace. Until then, keep choosing yourself. Keep honoring your peace. Keep walking in your power. Because the woman you've become through this journey, she's unstoppable. She's magnetic. She's exactly who she was always meant to be. And if they're smart, they won't let you get away twice. Thank you for being here, dear soul. May you be blessed with clarity, peace, and divine alignment in all your connections. Until next time, I'm Infinity, and this is Infinity Moon Tarot Guidance.